Well, let the nerves set in, everybody. 2027. We have another first overall pick that I'll probably accidentally waste. We need to get through spring training first and foremost. And then we will, I know there's the quick button to do it. I just prefer to do it this way for whatever reason. But we got to see what this team is going to be this year, because we should still be pretty bad, I would like to think. In terms of our rankings, 17th at catcher, 19th at first, 16, 30th at third base. Our pitching is terrible. Corner outfield's terrible. I mean, we should be so bad. We should be. Our rotation is Shane Smith, Hagen Smith, Noah Schultz, Sean Burke, and Anthony Kay. We got 3 lefties in that rotation. We got Drew Thorpe as a long reliever. And then the bullpen is Juan Miella, Mike Vasil, Yariel Rodriguez, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jordan Leisure, and Grant Taylor as the closer, as opposed to Sir Anthony, who's in the last year of his deal. So, interesting there. And then lineup-wise, against righties, we have Chase Majoroth, Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery, Andrew Benintendi, Brooks Baldwin, Munetaka Murakami, Luis Angel Acuna, Jordan Beck, and Tim Elko playing third base, actually, with Kike, Espinal, Peguero, Caro, and Dylan Moore on the bench. All right, I mean, Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal, 2-3. That's a good setup. And then Majorat does have the pretty good contact against the lefties. It's decent against righties. And then against lefties, Teal is actually the leadoff man, which is, again, I'm so happy that they have finally addressed AI lineup construction. So happy. So, for example, and we're not going to look at everybody, but the Blue Jays have Devers and then Vladdy as their top 2, which is so sick. Because, again, obviously, even up to last year, those guys would have been like 4 or 5 in the lineup, maybe 3-4 at best. And instead, yeah, it's replicating what we see in real life. Like, this seems to be working pretty damn well so far. Like, Tampa now has Aranda and Jazz, then Junior. Like, it's nice to see. It's interesting that Nolan Jones is there, but he does have that power. And then Chandler Simpson's in. But yeah, like Aaron Judge is at second in the Yankees lineup. That Red Sox lineup's looking pretty nuts, too. Shout out to I Twerk on Your Grave. But yeah, Gunner 2, Holiday first. Trying to see if there's another good example. Arias has that crazy contact, so of course he is in second. Did he go back? Was traded to Boston and then just signed back with San Fran anyway, I think. Yeah, Machado's batting leadoff with that 28 speed. That would never happen in the old games. Never. Never. Mookie with that 49 speed, batting leadoff, Ohtani, and then Tucker. It's not bad. Kyle McCann's batting leadoff for the Rockies. Goddamn. Gavin Cross. Oof. Are we going to be able to out-tank this Rockies team? I don't know. I don't know if we are. I don't know if we are. Springer batting leadoff for the Cardinals. Just wanted to see what else. Terang, Contreras. Who was I thinking of here? Washington as well was another team I wanted to look at. They have a 59 overall first baseman in their lineup. That is nuts. Also, it looks like the Cubs traded Matt Shaw, but not to us, to Washington, so that's pretty annoying. That's pretty annoying. Mike Trout is a Met. Okay. So I will say my first big issue, my first big issue with this game is that the blockbuster trade alerts are not working properly. Because a Mike Trout trade going down and the game not informing me, that's no good. Like, that should not happen. We'll try to see what it was for here shortly. Oh, you know what I wanted to check? I wanted to check Tampa, and they're not playing that dude in the majors. Christ, they're playing him down like single A right now. Probably coded for 90-plus players, probably. Yeah, they're starting off Oliveros in single A. Okay, yeah. I mean, I get not immediately starting him over Dominguez, I guess, but yeah, let's be honest, that's a bit rough. He should be there. League. Can I not see transactions? There we go. Jesus. Trades, Jeff McNeil sent to the Athletics. Matt Shaw for Luis Garcia. So, Joe Adell also got traded. Spencer Steer. Trout for shortstop, Colin Houck. Wow. So all it took was a shortstop. So my guess is that the Angels were just looking for that cap dump. And they then moved that dude anyway. So it looks like the Angels just totally cap dumped Mike Trout. Which is fair. It looks like they just cap dumped him. I don't hate the idea of the AI being aware enough to cap dump people. Like, especially, too, if they just traded him literally for a guy that they were going to cut. Who's the best starting pitching-wise at the Cubs? The goddamn Red Sox, man. Yeah, he's, we signed him. We signed the guy who was traded 1-for-1 for Mike Trout. He's in single A ball for us. So they legitimately just cap dumped Mike Trout. I don't hate that. I gotta be honest, I really don't. You can argue whether or not it's realistic or not. Totally get that. But the idea that the AI are like, this dude is old and he's getting paid so much goddamn money, he's gotta go. Like, I like that. I like that. Rather than the AI just getting stuck with some of these garbage deals and just letting players rot. The idea of just the Angels got what they could for Mike Trout or just sent him wherever. Didn't even keep the guy. Like, I don't hate it. Our owner cap dumping Trout is on brand for him. Like I said, I don't hate it. And for the Mets, it makes plenty of sense because obviously they're going for it. So now their outfield is Juan Soto, Mike Trout, and then either Luis Robert or Tyler O'Neill playing the other corner. So that is nuts. I mean, yeah, that Mets lineup has to be crazy right now. Trout, Soto, Bichette, Lindor, Polanco, Mauricio, Vientos, Alvarez, O'Neill. At least against righties, and they still have Marcus Semien, Brett Beatty, Luis Robert. Again, the idea of the Mets being like, yeah, fuck it, we're going to add Mike Trout and we're going for it. Like, I don't hate it. And the Angels just being like, go. We need to get rid of him. I don't hate it. I wish I could say I did. Or do I? All right, so our block, our untouchables, our targets. So it does. So when someone on your target list gets traded, it does properly update, at least, that Shaw is on Washington. It doesn't remove him. But I do want to go back and double check who we might Try trading Houck to New York for Trout. I do want to see what else we might need here. Again, if Munetaka's our guy at first base for the moment, Majdroth at second. Ideally, it is a starting third baseman. All right, like above all, it's a starting third baseman that we really need. So if we go back, double check who might have a decent decent younger third baseman for us to get. The Red Sox are no longer shopping Marcelo Meyer or Jim Rogers for that matter, who's not even that good. Caleb Durbin, though, is 27. In our first run-through, he actually won World Series MVP, didn't he? Didn't in this timeline because we had to resim, but... Ryan McMahon... I don't know, like, Durbin's not that bad. I don't think he's the long-term solution, but if we can get him for cheap enough, it'll be worth it. Okamoto's already hurt. Alec Bohm... Again, ideally like a B prospect, but they are a lot more difficult to find. I mean Garcia, but I don't know, maybe we'll add him. Royce Lewis. We're not exactly getting the younger players I was hoping for. Paredes is still there. Would it be worth it to take a cap dump ourselves? That is a very good question that I am now very much considering. Is it worth shopping the trade blocks to see what teams are looking to get rid of veterans, and can we fleece them potentially for certain prospects in the return for taking on that cap? Because we especially have a ton of cap space. Like, we could go like full 2017 Arizona Coyotes on this one. So that is definitely going to be something worth checking out here in a second. But in terms of our targets, I just want to see... I mean, Beatty and Vientos are still both there at 27. Yeah, I think all these guys were 27, weren't they? I mean, Paredes is 28. And the Phillies don't even want to get rid of that guy anymore, and they ended up with Jose Ramirez. Robert Spalding, happy Pi Day. It was also my brother-in-law's birthday. That's right, my father-in-law, a math teacher, had a son that was born on Pi Day. And they say God isn't real. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I don't think we want Nolan Arenado, or do we? So yeah, in terms of that, idea of getting like a young third baseman, like they are just not available right now. They are just not available right now. Even the Giants being like, yeah, we're not getting rid of Dino Garcia is sweet. So these guys aren't exactly the youngest, but they are an improvement. So we look down at MLB trade blocks. Obviously, that's for us. Blue Jays aren't looking. You do have the Yankees maybe looking to move Ryan McMahon. Red Sox are definitely looking to move on from Trevor Story's contract at $23 million. Dodgers looking to move on from Tommy Edman. Antonio Senzatella's up there for the Rockies. Reese McGuire. JT Realmuto. Luke Weaver. Braves are definitely looking to cut some veterans that are making some money. Yeah, you know, this might actually work. This might work. So you know what? Let's actually clear out our trade targets, because there wasn't any of those young players I want anyway. And we're going to go back. Well, I'm not sure. I'd have to look. So we're going to talk about like Trevor Story making $23 million. Target list. right? That lets the Red Sox know, hey, what do you think? You got Sean Murphy making 12. Got other guys making 14. Realmuto's making 15. Benintendi is already ours. Yastrzemski's making 11. Senzatella at 10 mil. We'll see if the Rockies are interested. Yastrzemski making 11. We'll see if they'd willing to give anything up. And then maybe Realmuto. Do you actually get trade offers on trade targets? Yes. Indeed. And it crashed. I don't think we lost as much progress as we did last time. But, that's not great. That's not great. Add 1 to the crash counter. That's not great. I don't know how much progress we lost. I can't remember when we last saved. I cannot remember. Almost need a 15-minute autosave. Yeah. Looks like we are back at the start of spring training. Is this before or after? Okay, it's after I fully set up the rosters as I wanted them, at least. Okay. Not as bad as it could have been. Not as bad as it could have been, and now we have a game plan. So, like, when we went through top prospects and shit like that, right? Like, we should be okay. Whew. Yeah, definitely save often if you have done anything relatively important, if you've made roster changes. We definitely have some inconsistencies going on here. That said, I don't need to save this second, so we are going to go back to the hub. And we are going to remove these guys. I want to try something here. Say I remove somebody, back out, then load back in. Don't know for sure if that'll do anything, but it's just a general idea. So Senzatella can go to the target list. Yastrzemski can go to the target list. Realmuto can go to the target list. Do we want to go McMahon? Lonnie Peralta. I mean, double digits are probably ideal. Let's go Kyle Finnegan. He's up there. All right, so those will be the 4 that we look to target just to say, hey, you're looking to dump that salary? We're open for business if you have the right prospect to give us to help make it happen. We'll see if that is a viable strategy or not. But for now, this season's underway, and hopefully we are god-awful. Hopefully. Although I did just realize maybe our scouting change didn't save. It did. Good. Okay, good. All right, so scouting-wise, we can look for general scouting, or we can just try to look at the guys that are at the top of the board. If we look at the depth chart, we really do still desperately need a third baseman. We got Jordan Beck, Montgomery, and Acuna. Honestly, a younger first baseman than Murakami could be nice. If we look at scout prospects. So first baseman, Earl Dugan is the #1 projected dude. We could, again, go for a general bit of scouting on a little bit of everybody. But yeah, let's be honest. The thing that matters the most here is first overall. We need to nail this. We're even going to look at Tavares, even though we don't need a right fielder. Even though we don't need a right fielder, if the guy just turns out to be that damn good, we got to take him. We can't miss. We cannot miss. We are 5-10 to start the year. All right, so Tavares really kind of fell. The other two still look okay. Let's see. Harold Payne as the starter. Third baseman Antonio Vesperis. And Danny McGaffick. 2 starters and the third baseman. Haven't heard back from any of those teams about what we might be looking to do, so. And it's McGaffick that really falls off the board. From being projected to be pretty good to not so much. Felipe Villegas as a starter. Ernesto Reyes at third. And Dave Mayo at third. It's worth making sure position pitcher level matches with the scout. Yes, but at the same time, we are gonna scout out some other people, or some of these guys a second time. Easy for me to say. So at least if we don't end up with the 100% information. Catcher Jeff Baker. Again, we really don't need a catcher, but if he's projected this high, we got to make sure he's not insane. Rex Jacobson and Jose Tapia. See if we can get any extra benefit there. Blockbuster trade. Is it? Yankees get closer Ryan Walker for a 24-year-old C potential starter and Ben Hess. That just reads like the Giants again shedding some salary, getting rid of a closer who, in fairness, has a 6.75 ERA through 8 innings. But see, yeah, if this is popping up, the Trout deal should have popped up. I mean, it is only 8 innings pitched. He has been fucking dreadful. And they just get a starter in Ben Hess just to be like, yeah, sure, get rid of him. Blockbuster definition, though, not so much. So yeah, that definitely needs to be addressed of what trades are popping up and which ones aren't. All right, who else do we have here that hasn't been looked at all? Peter Tachiki. Alonso Villegas in left. And Keith Simons at third. So starter left and third. But yeah, that's the one thing so far. The blockbuster trade alerts need a bit of work. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone's going to bite on the whole trade target idea. I mean, we could go fishing for it with, like, Senzatella. Right? Like, if we look on the Rockies, we look at Antonio Senzatella, and we say, hey, we also want, even like Vic Lenskow isn't that bad. Tovar's unmovable. Closer Patrick Mitra is not bad, but we do have a good closer. Getting another one wouldn't be too bad. Say we take Senzatella, but we want Mitra back. And we'll even give you Jordan Leisure, a 70 overall reliever, to make it happen. What do you think? Do you want to get rid of Senzatella that badly? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely fishing some of these guys out of here. All right. Well, I think we're going to get probably some general scouting done here. Probably. Potentially. Only guy who's not really worth looking at pitchers is Marcos Brandt. Yeah, maybe not. First baseman Earl Dugan. He looks like a damn good fielder, but not so hot in terms of his ability at the plate, unless our scouts are just totally wrong. So I'll have him look at Dugan. Burns and even Vesperis at, I feel like 90% should be okay. right? 90 should be okay. Let's look at Tapia. Yeah, we definitely got to get this right. The offer missed on both fit and value. Okay. Don't say I didn't try. All right, so Earl Dugan does maintain that number 1 spot. Don't know if I believe that, though. Ernesto Reyes at 3rd. Peter Tachiki will get more of a look at. Dave Mayo, so 2 third basemen and a starter. Let's see. What else do we got? Cannot afford to miss out on another high-level talent like we did last year. Tachiki jumped up to 3rd. Was Pedro rank 1 last year? Yes. So yeah, trust me, I'm definitely thinking about that with Dugan of just being like, well, it doesn't say he's that great, but he's projected 1st. I'm taking him. Starter, 2nd, and catcher. All right. See what else here. I'm kind of disappointed no trades have popped up, but them's the breaks. All right, we can reset here. Get the guys out that might not be that good. DJ Murray, watch him be like a 79 overall, 85 potential or something dumb. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I don't regret my decision based off of the info we had last year. Like, there was no reason to believe, really, that guy was going to be that good. Big week for us in terms of winning games. All right, got some other guys here falling further back. Yeah, we don't really have time to worry about discovery. First overall pick, we just gotta get it done. No time to look for hidden gems. We'll take some random shots in the dark in the later rounds. Starter right and center. Even if it's in a position where we don't necessarily need the player, if it's the best guy available, we got to do it. Okay, we get a trade offer from the Red Sox. Christian Campbell's only a C? Oh, he dropped. Okay. So it's Johan Oviedo and Christian Campbell for Edgar Caro, Anthony Kay, and Sir Anthony Dominguez. Oviedo's a 29-year-old starter. He's on the last year of his deal. Campbell is signed for $7.5 million for the next 7 years. He is only a 70 and is dropped down to a C potential. Caro's at least still a B. I mean, Dominguez's deal is up at the end of the year, so really the only reason to do this is like, hey, we'll give you a worse prospect, but also you get to dump the Anthony Kay contract. I'm not really all that worried about dropping the Anthony Kay contract, so that's definitely going to be a no. Yeah, sorry, Boston. Shouldn't be that close to the edge of dropping. I don't disagree, but maybe I'm being a fanboy. Ooh, okay, you know what? That's a decent little response, though. Christian Campbell for Anthony Kay and Sir Anthony Dominguez. So Dominguez, again, 32, deal is up. Kay has 3 years left after this. But also, Campbell's making 7.5. So the Red Sox are ready to bail on Christian Campbell. Are we willing to take a risk to hope that Campbell rediscovers that potential? So the Red Sox are bailing on him. They're willing to take 2 veterans to help the cause, even though, I mean, Kay has been awful this year. I mean, I think it's worth it, right? Like, the risk is obviously just the $7.5 million, but we've been very wise in how we've spent our money so far, very cautious. And when you do that kind of cautious movement, then it allows you to take a risk like this. And I think we're going to do it. I have no problem bringing in Christian Campbell here for for Kay and Dominguez. That's a done deal. That is a done deal. So welcome in Christian Campbell. If the Red Sox didn't work out for you, maybe the White Sox will. So at catcher, we're fine. At first base, we're fine. Second base, Campbell is going down to AAA. Because otherwise, he's platoon role at best with Chase, who is already much better at the plate. At least for the rest of this year. We'll send Campbell down to AAA. Dylan Moore will be the backup. And we'll do it that way. And of course, we still have like a bunch of extra second basemen and stuff like that because we just signed people off the free agent list. We're just making sure everything else is still good to go there. Benintendi's out with a broken ankle. So then starters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Perez will be the 6th. Am I allowed to edit the lineup? Yeah, but I'm all right with letting the AI do its thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I need one free agent starter. Hey, mambo jumbo. Jack Benedict, are you willing to sign for cheap? Yes, you are. Welcome in, Jackie Benz. Off the AA with you. And we do need a closer. Doesn't necessarily need to be a proper closer, but Kevin Ginkel is there. Can we overpay you for the rest of this year? We got a full roster. Let's drop Camilletti just because he's not that good. Give me a random closer in Kevin Ginkel. We'll just pay you more money than what you're probably worth. Just to fill the role. Cool. All right. Well, that is... it's going to be an interesting bet. So our rotation is Smith, Burke, Smith, Paez, and Thorpe. Noah Schultz has been moved to a long relief role. Miea, Vasil, Ginkel, Taylor, Leisure, and Rodriguez. Okay. And then lineup-wise, I primarily wanted to look at AAA. So we do have Christian Campbell batting second or first, depending on the starting pitcher. So he is definitely going to get the opportunity to rediscover his form. Oh, Dave, what's going on, man? How you been? I feel like it's been a while. Sorry, just panic saving here because of the crashes that we've had. Yeah, Christian Campbell gets a good opportunity to kind of refine his form with us. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I'm doing good. No major complaints, at least today. Living life day to day, you know? Life be lifing, as they say. Let's see if there is anybody else here. Stuart Lawson. Hunter Lance. So a catcher, a center fielder, and a shortstop. We need a generational talent. Twitch partner, let me into it. Oh, shit, that was today, huh? Congrats. Let's dissect this trade really quickly. Adley has been traded to Texas for Ben Baez and Pablo Guerrero. So 87 overall at 29 for Rutschman. 1 year left on his deal. Baez is a very promising... I'm aware there's two trades. Baez is a very promising starter. And they also gave up an okay first baseman. We'll have to see where the Orioles are in the standing. Adley's been terrible this year. He's batting 170 in 51 games. Have I saved recently? I sure have. Again, I don't hate it. Like, you could argue whether or not Baez would be enough on his own, but if Rutschman is struggling, then I can kind of see it. And then Cade Smith, the 92 overall closer, was traded for another promising young starter in Thomas Sharp. I don't hate that. That's a top-notch closer for a pretty damn strong starting pitcher. I don't hate either of those trades, depending on what's going on with Baltimore and Texas. So for Baltimore, they're awful, right? Under 500, dead last in their division. For the Rangers, they're 4 games above 500 and trying to be a little bit more ambitious. And Danny Jansen was kind of struggling a bit. He's on a cold streak. Higashioka was the other catcher, so if their idea is like, hey, we bring in Adley, if he turns it around, we can be more competitive, sacrificing a bit of the future for the now, it's not bad. I'm not going to say someone couldn't find flaw in it, but I don't think it's the worst trade I've ever seen, you know? And that is kind of my level is like, well, is it the worst trade I've ever seen? Okay. Because, again, we play every damn sports game, basically, that there is to play, at least from the AAA yearly release standpoint. And we know what bad trading logic looks like, don't we? We still see it in a lot of other games. So I'll take not bad as opposed to abysmal. Let's see how this one holds up. Nick Lodolo and Graham Ashcraft heading to Atlanta. Lodolo last year of his deal, the 86 overall starter. Ashcraft's got another year left. Kind of a middling reliever. For Sean Murphy, who's got an extra year left at catcher, an 84 overall. And Cam Caminiti, again a promising starter. We've seen him dealt twice. I mean, Atlanta says we need a better starter. We'll give up a catcher and a young starter to do it. So, I mean, Atlanta and Cincy, what is the situation at catcher? That is my question. Atlanta, yeah, has Drake Baldwin. So they could certainly afford to get rid of a catcher. And Cincy certainly needed a catching improvement on Gary Sanchez. I'm not saying it's perfect, but do I think it's better? 100%. And Cincy makes another move as they get young starting pitcher Jamie Arnold and JT Ginn for Brian Abreu, who they just signed, David Bednar, and Marcell Ozuna. So they send out a couple of veterans, including 2 relievers, and a lot of cap for a young prospect. They're taking everything I worked for. Those are supposed to be my trades. I'm jealous I didn't get a chance to make that trade. Goddamn. How come you didn't come to me for that trade? Do you not realize how much frickin' salary space I have right now? You're killing me. All right, we got one more week after this. I feel like 85 should be fine. So Andy Mayo. Just 3 more starters to look at here. That is not worth it. The Rockies are trying to dump all of their middling cap. This is not how that works, Colorado. You don't get to send me trash, let alone expensive trash, for one of my better prospects. You got it wrong. You send me trash and one of your prospects, and I give you trash. That's not how this works. All of our bad players for your good one. Oh, man. Declined. Go away. Go away. You're out of your goddamn mind. No, you give us your best player and $50 million. I mean, hey, there might have been some GM who in real life would 5D chess that. Like, wait a minute, though. If we do this, then they'll do us a favor in the future. You know, give you one of those I owe you one, pals. Well, out on the trade block then. Dalton Varsho's massive contract he just got from the Giants. Jesus. There's some prospects out there now. There are some prospects out there now. All right, some of these guys are pretty damn low in overall, but all right, the market be marketing. Carlos Chavez. All right, so I mean, again, like with Senzatella in Colorado, it's like, do you have a good prospect? Like, I'll take Senzatella, but you got to give me something, even if it's freaking Vic Lentkow. Who else? Yeah, Damon Gomez is untouchable. Show of the Rule 5, yes. Jeff Harrington's untouchable. Welcome to SmackDown 2005, by the way. Sherwood Favre's untouchable. Charlie Condon's untouchable. Holiday and Bonham are untouchable after we sent Bonham there. Okay, so literally, I'll take on Senzatella's contract, but you got to give me Vince Lentkow, or Vic Lentkow, and I will send you Tyler Gilbert's, just so that you get a more usable reliever, and you get some cap space to maybe do something. Yeah, you should consider that trade because it's a good one. Is there anybody else who's making way too much money that we could try to take advantage of here? Just a lot of prospects out there right now. We need people making millions here. There are a lot more people on the trade block. Seth Lugo, Kansas City. Perfect. Mr. Lugo, I'd love to pair you with a Bill Trayer. With, oh my God, they don't have much in the system right now, do they? They don't have much. They have Montez, who they're not trying to move. Blake Mitchell, who they're not trying to move. Okay, so give me that random center fielder then. And we'll give you a starter that can be a bit more usable for you. We'll give you Kai Bush. Actually, how good or bad was Lugo? He was a 66. Yeah, here, we'll give you Kai Bush. Right? A little bit more usable, frees up a bunch of cap, bunch of salary money, call it what you will. But you give up Bill Traynor to do it. It's a great deal for you. It's a wonderful deal for you. Anybody else making way too much money? Anybody? Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland. Well, we kind of know how that works out for the Rockies. We might have to add him into that other deal. Salvador Perez. Might have to add him into that Cincy deal to get that prospect. Anybody else? 2.3 of Nicky Lopez. 17 mil of Lance McCullers Jr. Perfect. Baltimore. Who do you got? Arthur Webb. Kind of looks like trash, but you know what? He could be my trash because you won't trade Chris Harding. I wish you would. Nearly $13 million a year to be a minor leaguer. What a goddamn life. It's amazing what being good at hitting a baseball can do, huh? It's amazing. Ooh, they are willing to trade Ben Baez. Hello. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off, but I'm going to try. Being good at hitting a baseball and being bad at it. Well, as always, right, with professional athletes, it's like even the worst of the worst are the best of the best. You know? The worst of the worst are still the best of the best. All right, could we get Ben Baez? Like, they'll need a starter. I'll give you Drew Thorpe. Although they're not even really looking for starters. They want a reliever or left fielder, Andrew Benintendi. He's perfect. You get Andrew Benintendi. We take on Lance McCullers. Well, then again, you probably don't want the cap hit. Do we have a good closer? Kevin Ginkel. Old man Ginkel. Look at that. You get Thorpe, you get the closer that you need, and you give up Ben Baez. It's a great deal. You should take it. You should take that trade. Easily. Anybody else making way too much money? Andrew Nardi, that's not enough. Anybody else making way too much money? Cade Cavalli. 7.5 of Steven Matz. $21 million of Yusei Kikuchi. Oh, Anaheim. Anaheim. Let me tell you, I would love to trade for Yusei Kikuchi if you have anybody that you'd be willing to give up, which so far the answer is no, which isn't surprising because you got rid of Mike Trout for literally nothing. So, of course, you're in full rebuild mode. It's good that you're in full rebuild mode, because, brother, you ain't got shit to work with right now. Holy. There's no point for me to even trade for Kikuchi. They have nobody to give up. They are fucked. All right, 12.5 mil of Braxton Garrett. Hey, you know that guy you took first overall last year? You willing to trade him? Second overall, I mean? I'm just going to pretend you had that first pick. Eduardo Science, they don't want to trade. Anybody else? Please. Watching overweight Derek Coleman almost bludgeon a Joe on that show years ago. Pros versus Joes is unbelievable. We used to live in such a glorious era. Pros versus Joes, sports science. God damn. Back when Colin Cowherd wasn't fucking horrific to listen to. And we had the absolute joy that was known of like the first 2 years of Sports Nation with Michelle Beadle. All right. That's really not going to work out here. All right. We'll see if any of those deals go through. Edgar Caro is actually the only one on our trade block now. I'm going to remove these guys from the block then. Because actually, a lot of them weren't even on the block anymore. So we're willing to give up Edgar Caro. Because he's never going to be ahead of Kyle Teal. Is there anybody else? I mean, Murakami, 11 home run. I kind of want to keep Munetaka, though. We don't really have a succession plan for him. I mean, Benintendi certainly needs to be on the block. I mean, the guy is 32. What an old bastard. Okay. Oh, Benintendi's that big piece. So yeah, we're trying to get Vic Lentzkow, Bill Trayer, and then really Ben Baez is the big one from Baltimore. That would be nice. And we save again. I'm really trying to force myself to get in the habit of just saving. If anything takes more than 5 minutes to catch up on, we need to save. Despite the fact that we like player, we find the overall value insulting. Well, fuck you. Value doesn't fit here. We'd be happy to renegotiate. The offer improves. This doesn't address our needs, and it wasn't close. Well, fuck you. All right, so Kansas City. Oh, there's no pending. They just turned that shit down straight up. They just turned that shit down straight up. All right, well, you know, fuck you then. Final bit of scouting before this draft, where again we have the first overall pick. Earl Dugan is projected to be the number 1. Do I believe that? Yes, because look at the power. The fielding and the power at first base, good lord. Up next is starting pitcher Joffrey Burns, who, yeah, I could believe is going to be good, but maybe not insane, right? He's going to be a workhorse, though, with that stamina. Then there's starter Peter Tachiki, who's on 90% scouted. Doesn't really look that good. You know what? Let's just go and see anybody that's not at least at like an 80%. So Garrett Beavers. I watched Kofi doing a watch long of an episode. We're calling him, you build the fuck out of people. Kofi's the man. It's been cool to be able to kind of connect a little bit with Kofi. I mean, especially too, like I always have to do my best to not fanboy out because I mean I was a big fan of his time with Secret Base and everything, but he's a cool dude. I mean, Christ, like he got us watching that freaking ice football. Like he's got a really good niche going. I'm just like, I'm gonna find the weirdest goddamn shit and just let's see what the deal is. All right, let's see. So we are heading to the draft. 2027. We have the first pick. We blew it last year. Earl Dugan is projected number 1. Potentially amazing fielding ability. He could also be a third baseman. His arm needs a bit of work, though, but the fielding ability is top-notch. But that power that he might have, tempting. Then there's Jeffrey Burns, projected 2nd. I prefer the first baseman. Bad contact. Hey, you take what you can get, though. 3rd is starting pitcher Peter Tachiki. Who, again, like, I don't look at that and be like, absolutely number 1 pick. I might be wrong, but, like, that's not what I'm seeing there. Then there was Harold Payne, another starter, who probably looks the best out of the starters that I've seen so far. Probably. 3rd baseman, Antonio Vesperis, is the inverse of the first baseman. He's got the fielding and the contact, but he doesn't quite have the power. But he does have better power than the first baseman has contact. Antonio Vesperis is interesting. Starter Felipe Villegas. Starter Jose Tapia. Catcher DJ Murray. Not bad, but we don't need a catcher as much as we would need a first or a third baseman. Third baseman Keith Simons, an unbelievable fielder. Like, that guy's a gold glover. Like, look at that fielding ability already. That guy is a multi-time gold glover. But the batting leaves a bit to be desired. And then Ernesto Reyes is also very strong at the plate. Fielding's a bit worse than the other guy. Okay. It is either Earl Dugan, Antonio Vesperis, or Keith Simons. It's gotta be. So again, Simons is a 60 to a 65, 90 to 95. So guaranteed A potential, according to our scouts. That dude is a multi-time Gold Glove winning third baseman. How old is he? 22. Oh, he's from Maine. That might be the one. That could be him. He could be him. The first good baseball player from the state of Maine since someone... I did a video on this. But, yeah, the first good player from Maine since fucking... like George Gore. Oh, God. So I'm not like salty, like if I put out a video and it doesn't get a ton of views, but I will be disappointed on occasion if I'm like, man, this is a cool video, because there have been times over the years, where I've put out videos where I'm just like, I think this is a cool idea. Hopefully people like it, and sometimes they don't always catch that attention. I gotta try to. I never remember what the hell I named it, but there was that video where I did the research to find out by war or whatever war adjacent stat there was for each of the 4 major sports. Not only who was the best player, here it is. Yeah, it's got under 1,000 views. I gotta be honest, I'm disappointed. Because I thought this was, maybe it was just the presentation of it wasn't good enough. But which state has produced the strongest group of major league talent? Maybe the title wasn't that great either. I don't know. But we did look up NHL, NBA, NFL, and MLB to see who had the best WAR total. And for Maine, literally for baseball, look at George Gore. 39.9 career WAR. I feel like Keith Simons would beat that by default. Also, go watch that video if you haven't. Or if you did watch it back in the day and you never left a like on it, please do that. I'd appreciate it. Because you never know what old videos might get picked up by the algorithm out of nowhere. So if it's not him, it's third baseman Antonio Vesperis. Did I know George Gore's nickname? Brother. Did I know George Gore's nickname? Sir. I did so much research. I looked up Ham Allen. I looked up I have no idea what his nickname was, I gotta be honest. Not a damn clue. Not a damn clue. Piano Legs. Ah, there you go. Shout out to Piano Legs. We love good old Piano Legs. Oh, fucking hell. Anyway, Antonio Vesperis. Hard-hitting, very solid third baseman still from a defensive standpoint, but he's not there yet. He should grow into it, though. So Simons has that defense and has it right now. But the batting is never going to be more than average. Vesperis is pretty much average across the board, but could grow into a great player. And then there's Earl Dugan, who has the defense at first base, but the primary reason to look out for him is the power game. That is the thing to watch out for with Dugan. Dugan is a 19-year-old out of Maryland. Vesperis is 22, Simons is 22. So the fact that Vesperis is already 22 and has to grow into being that good kind of scares me. Whereas Simons is 22 and he's already a Gold Glove defender. Am I wrong for saying, like, Dugan has the power, the most well-rounded is Vesperis, and the most ready right now is Keith Simons? '60 to a 65 overall, 90 to 95 potential. Vesperis is an 86 to a 92, 64 to 70. And then I could definitely buy the Dugan is in the low 60s. That potential is an 81 to a 93. I think it's got to be Keith Simons. I think it does. And he's a guaranteed A potential, apparently. Unless my scouts are just dicking me over again. And that fielding ability is crazy. The arm needs a bit of work, but it will be at least average by the end of it. And we could, like, hyper-focus on that. Obviously, though, you see someone with that power potential of Earl Dugan. That's so enticing. And probably a Gold Glove first baseman because of that reaction time. So a damn good likely a damn good outfielder with power. Potentially the most well-rounded of the bunch. Or again, a guy who has that fielding ability right now. It's nice to have a tough choice. It's nice to have a tough choice. Again, Simons 60 to a 65, 90 to 95. He's going to have speed, too, for that matter. Obviously, that power for Dugan is very enticing. Vesperis was younger. All of them have balanced. There is injury risk for Simons. There is injury risk. Dugan, healthy, low injury risk, and an unknown. Oh my God. Grab a guy with a glove for hot corner, someone else who can hit. Yeah. Take the first baseman, same power, 3 extra years of dev compared to the others. Well, he needs that extra dev, especially because like the power right now is average. Although the power against lefties could be above average. This is a tough choice, man. I'm going to get it wrong no matter what. It feels like it's between these two, which means Vesperis is probably the best. Please don't let me be wrong. Keith Simons, first overall to the White Sox. Please, please, please don't let me be wrong. Please don't let me be wrong. Second overall is starting pitcher Jeffrey Burns. He's projected second, but he didn't look that good according to our scouts at least. There's not much I can do there. Third pick is starting pitcher Aaron Berger. Projected 44th. We had him ranked 32nd, but we didn't really look at him. So Aaron Berger is an even more off the board pick than what we did. Our next pick is not until 42nd. They are both gone, of course. Dugan went 4th to St. Louis. Vesperis 7th to Cleveland. We will see if the right or wrong choice was made. From here, what do we have? Garrett Beavers at right field. Decent arm, decent speed. Maybe not the best field. He just seems average. Just seems very average. Second baseman, Josh Herzog. Also seems just pretty average. Like, defense isn't bad. Like, he's got good reaction time. Reliever, Patrick Rowley. I mean, obviously it looks good, but we don't know anything about him. In terms of scouted options, Adrian Cardona. Also looks okay, but he only has 3 pitches as a starter. Lawrence Wells. Speed and contact and right. Andreas Piedra at third. Speed, defensive ability. What about catcher Hunter Lance? Yeah, I mean, for most people, like, they have some positive aspect going on, but not a ton. So, yeah, I mean, we could take a risk on somebody who we do have info on that could be half decent. Or we just go, like, throw a dart at the board for, like, a Patrick Rowley, Thomas Cisneros, Miguel Lantigua. Yeah, I mean, we could, or we could just be like, yeah, screw it, go for Garrett Beavers. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just take Garrett Beavers. Let's see what happens. Plus, his name is Garrett Beavers. Hope for the best. Round number 3. Can pretty much only go off of who the hell is next highly rated. Another right fielder, Victor Valencia. Mike Petit. I mean, we need what? We need relievers. We need star. I mean, we just got to kind of get the best who we can think we can get, really. Based off of the potential range and the overall, it's going to be that left fielder, Mike Petit. Mike Petit. Welcome in. Round 4. Random reliever, Brandon Ramirez. Sure. I mean, we spent all of our scouting time trying to make sure we got the first pick right. And it might not have worked out well, but we'll see. Round 5. Rivera's potential range is nuts. There's nobody, or overall range. Potential-wise, Danny Leon, the Lion. Carlos Feliz. Fuck. All right. Just for the fact that apparently Silva could be close to an 88, take him. Even for the slight chance. And then round number 6. Gilmore's range potentially up to a 77. Anybody with that crazy potential here at the end? Not really. I mean, we'll take another reliever. It's what we need. Well, Dick Gilmore, come on down. Random darts at the board. And we'll see how we did. Home run derby at Wrigley. Alonso, Ohtani, Rooker, Judge, Kurtz, Lowe. The Lau. And Juan Soto. Kyle Schwarber. Oh, who the hell made the All-Star game for us? I can't imagine. Somebody had to, though. School's back. Yariel Rodriguez. Our reliever is up to a 75. That's not bad. Yariel Rodriguez has made it. Did we have a position player make it? Luis Angel Acuna. Okay. We have 2 All-Stars this year. Look at us. We got 2 of them. I can't believe it. Not worried about the futures game either. What we're worried about is seeing these damn draft picks, man. Keith, please tell me you were worth it. Keith, please. Keith Simons has signed. But was it the right choice? Yeah, we'll save here, too. That's a good point. Damn, having to save this often because you're scared of breaking the... Hazy, we don't know yet. We're going to find out. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. All right. So yeah, signed draft picks are okay from there. We'll just see if we got lucky with any of the best guesses from there. We're actually starting to win a couple games here and there. And we gotta wait. See if any of the darts we threw at the board hit at the end. Mike Petit. Signs. Silva and Gilmore. Haven't seen any trade offers in a while either. Garrett Beavers. Signs. That leaves the final 3. Oh, there's the trade. Yankees get Shea Langeliers, Joe Jimenez, and Kevin Biggio for Spencer Jones, Damon Landis, and Robert Kranz. So Shea is 29, 87 overall. It did Palpatine, yeah. $9.5 million over 2 years. Jimenez is a 78 overall at 32. Last year of his deal, making $9 million. And then Kevin Biggio's on a minor league deal at 31, 68 overall. Spencer Jones, shout out to the Wolfpack. 75 overall at 25, center fielder. Ton of contract control left. Landis is a pretty solid young starter. And Kranz is a pretty solid young first baseman. Interesting. I mean, did the A's have another good catcher in the system? Do they have another good catcher in the system? Well, they did draft David Murdoch, but yeah, they definitely don't have anybody immediately ready to replace. Where are they standings-wise? Around 500. A little bit interesting. That trade's the first one where I'm like, I don't know if you should have made that deal. I mean, I can see, I guess, the justification for it, but obviously it's tough when you don't have a replacement. Soderstrom probably has catchers. You know what? That's fair. I didn't think of that. And we could check. The A's were buying a couple months ago, too. That is true. Move Ramirez to that bronze spot. Pirates pick up... See, now, this popping up, but the Trout one didn't. That's kind of... yeah. Jaden Ham, 67 overall starter, so he's just a dude at 24. And Montalvo, 1 point weaker. So a couple of middling starters. For 84 overall closer, Dennis Santana. Taylor Clark at a 75 reliever. Okay, it was a cap dump. Hunter Harvey, Taylor Clark, Dennis Santana. Pirates wanted to dump salary out of that bullpen, and they did. I mean, they cleared over $20 million in salary and brought in two, maybe there's something, starters. Fair enough. I kind of love that the AI loves cap dumping. I really do. Especially in playing as much NHL as I've played over the years, as you all are well aware, where the AI just seemingly has no idea what the fuck their cap situation is at any time. The fact that the AI in this is like, you know what? No, you gotta go is pretty nice. Padres did in fact trade Aaron Ivey. Very promising starter. Lamar King, a middling catcher, and veteran outfielder at this point, James Outman, for Stephen Kwan's massive expiring contract. Logan Allen, who's still a 76. Colby Allard at a 70, and Tim Herron. So the Padres said, nope, we don't need that promising young starter. We need that outfield help in Stephen Kwan. Are the Padres in a good playoff spot here? They're battling. Cliffhanger the draft results. Oh, no, we're seeing what the draft results are tonight. Don't you worry. And Padres showing some ambition. All right, we got Brandon Ramirez. So we're just waiting to see what's going to happen with Richard Gilmore and if we'll be able to sign him in time. Trade deadline today. We really didn't get any offers or anything, so we're just going to go. The Twins have acquired Zach Gallen for center field prospect Christopher Casado. Not bad. I mean, I get it. Top young center field, big-time project for a good starter. I get it. And we know the Orioles aren't good. All right, Gilmore will just offer you the max. And he took it. Okay. So we did get our entire class signed. Didn't really get too much done in terms of trades. Nobody really wanted Benintendi. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. All right. Here we go. Here we go. What's it going to be? I'm going to switch to this screen. I'm only looking at enough to say view draft picks. I haven't seen anything yet. How did we do? 3, 2, 1. I'm going to fire my scouts out of a cannon. Guaranteed A potential, huh? 90 to 95 potential, 100% scouted. You lie. Why do you lie? Ugh. That is two just okay picks with first overalls. 51 overall B potential at fucking 22. I mean, if he ever makes it, it'll be in his late 20s. God damn these scouts. Oh my god. Guaranteed A potential, my ass. No, our scouts are good too. They can just get it wrong. That's baseball. Fuck. He is a good fielder, but not quite as good as what was advertised either. Also, his overall range was like 60 to a 65. So he is worse in just all aspects. Garrett Beavers is a 52 overall B potential outfielder. We just kind of went on blind faith for him. At least he's 18 and will have time to develop. Mike Pettit's a D potential. Brandon Ramirez, 50 overall C potential, 18-year-old. I need to go to the Scrawny Slugger School of Scouting. Silva's a D. Gilmore's a D. That is one of my worst drafts ever. And he was barely a B potential. At the same time, what the hell am I supposed to do when the AI lies? When the AI lies to that extent. God, I don't want another first overall pick, please. It's too much pressure. That is devastating. That is devastating. Cleveland picks up Antonio Vesperis, who is much closer to reality. 67 overall, nearly an A potential at 22. Remember when I said Vesperis would probably end up being better? And they also got Robert Walters, who is a 56 overall. So, I mean, he's okay. He's got a ways to go. Detroit didn't get much. A lot of picks, didn't get much. Kansas City, Peter Tachiki, 18 and a 63 overall. Pretty good. And Martin Merced's a 60 at 22. Again, we'll probably make it, but he's got a lot of development time to go. Minnesota, not much. Not much for Minnesota. Houston, 58 overall reliever, Carlos Feliz. That's about it. Angels with Harold Payne, 21 years old, 66 overall, A potential. And Patrick Garner is a 47. I think you start betting against your gut, well, apparently. Athletics with Ramon Quintana, 60 overall at 18. It's not too bad. Seattle, left fielder Ton Byers is a 59, as is Steve Mesa. Holy, man. Holy. I am a sad, sad individual at the moment. Getting trolled by the scouts. It's a tale as old as time. Texas. Rosales is a 50. Esparza is a 68. That's a really good pick. Closers are still pretty damn good when they appear. Dave Buteau is a 68. That's a pretty damn good pick for Atlanta. And Brian Ruiz is a 50. Be a shame if you crash and had to redo the draft. We already saved. Is what it is. The Marlins with Newton, he was a 62. And then Julio Cisneros is a 70. Rocco Shabazian, great name. Mets with Brian Choi, who's a 58. Paul Carney is a 59. Tyson Galindo is a 51. Vern Garlobo is a 51. Phillies, James Lloyd, a 58 overall. I mean, again, like the good players are big-time projects so far, at least. And then Ryan Fuqua? Fuqua? Fuqua. The temptation I just had at the top of my lungs to just yell, Fuqua! I'm so glad I held off. My wife would have killed me. Washington with nothing, including Aaron Berger. Okay, at least we didn't screw up that badly with a top 3 pick. That was 3rd overall, right? That guy is cheeks. So we didn't mess up that badly. Thank God. Cubs, nothing crazy. Not that C potentials can't be good, but obviously we're looking at highest potentials. Cincy, nothing crazy. Couple guys who were close to the 80 potential threshold, but didn't make it. Milwaukee. Jeremy Compton, 44 overall. Pittsburgh with Adrian Blanco, 59 overall at 20 years old. Again, a lot of development time. You're talking about at least, 21 overall before he's probably a useful major leaguer. It's going to be a while, but Alfonso Elias is a 51. Jimmy Dixon's a 58. Andre Thurston's a 48. Okay. St. Louis, Earl Dugan, 66 overall at 19 and an 87 potential. So Dugan was not generational, but look at the power in the top right. He's a lot closer to what was advertised than who we ended up with. So, I mean, yes, Dugan or Vesperis would have been better, but thankfully it wasn't generational, but obviously Dugan would have been pretty fucking nice right about now. And then they ended up with Brandon James, who was a 62, and Fredrickson, who's a 50. Arizona, nothing crazy, including an F potential Damon Hawkins. Holy shit. Dugan's just Joey Gallo, basically. Rockies, 2nd overall pick, Jeff Burns. Dude, my scouts, man. He looked so average. 71 overall at 20 years old, A potential. I mean, in fairness to him, he's going to go to Colorado, though, so have fun. And then Greg Romano's a 57. So I'm learning to take the most middling-looking player. This dude wasn't even on our radar. 18-year-old, 66 overall, Philip Matsumoto. Fuck the Dodgers. Lock us out now. Lock us out right now. I've had enough. God damn it. That is brutal, man. That is absolutely brutal. God damn. Your scouted potential is off for several first-round picks? Yeah. And we focus scouted, too. I mean, most of these guys were 100% scouted, and it was still wrong. Morgan Chance is a 65. It's a good reliever for the Padres. Jose Tapia is a 56, while Lee Hu is a 51. 65 overall for Felipe Villegas, and a 53 for Josh Herzog. 58 overall for DJ Murray. 71 for closer Tim Emerson, and a 50 for Joe Haffey. Eddie Hernandez, 57 overall. Arthur Hicks at a 54. Tampa, no crazy steal this year, but Dennis McClendon's a 52. Blue Jays with closer Dan Ekstrom, who's a 64. Joaquim Cedeno, a 46. I mean, again, really in reality, either one of those three, we shouldn't have been able to go wrong. Earl was clearly the best of the bunch, but even then, damn, man. Damn. Do we want to try to get a mid-season extension done? We got a lot of people who are arbitration eligible. It would make more sense with like Benintendi, but we're not bringing Benintendi back. Keith is from Maine. You have to take. Well, and we did. At least I got someone from my home state. All right. Well, we are absolutely dreadful this year, as intended. 47 wins on the season as we hit September. Second worst record in the AL is 54 wins for the Angels. And in the NL, it's 52 wins for the Rockies, 54 for the Giants, 55 for the Cards. So, I mean, we are in position to have top 3 lottery odds. I don't think Mr. Gora is too much to worry about. Yeah. All right. Well, in terms of call-ups then, who is deserving? Christian Campbell is deserving. Let's bump up Christian Campbell. Antonacci will put in AAA. Bump up Perez to double. Is this year 2? Yes, it is. And then Harris is hurt. Otherwise, he might have gotten a call-up. Who won year 1? So we had to restart the sim. First time it was the Red Sox over the Cubs. And then the game crashed. And the second time it was Cubs over Mariners. Billy Carlson's almost ready to go. We'll save him. Campbell was probably the right call-up. Braden Montgomery's ready for next year, though, which is nice. All right, what do we got for pitchers here, then? Tyler Gilbert. Welcome back. Speaking of lottery odds, Florida better not get McKenna. Oh, just wait, it's happening. You know what's happening. Come on. You know what's happening. Nope, somebody else got hurt. Who managed to get hurt? Looks like it was probably a pitcher. Let's just call up Jordan Hicks. All right. AAA team did not make the playoffs. AA team did, but they were 1 game over. So, that's how that works. 60 wins, 102 losses for this year's White Sox. Playoffs will be Minnesota-Toronto, winner plays Seattle. Detroit and Boston, winner plays New York. LA and Atlanta, winner plays Arizona. Chicago and San Diego, winner plays Philly. If you win the lottery again, just take whoever's ranked first. Right, that is 2 years in a row. Arguably the best player was the guy who was ranked first, who didn't look that good. So, honestly. So, standings-wise, 60 wins for us. We were 4 wins behind the Angels. We are going to have top 3 lottery odds. It's going to be us, the Rockies, and then either the Angels, Cardinals, or Giants on tiebreaker. All right. How'd we do this year? Position players. Shout out to Brooks Baldwin, appearing in 157 games. He was our hit leader, actually. Home run leader with 23. Munetaka Murakami. Not quite living up to expectations, I would say. Do you ever go to Sea Dogs games? I haven't been in a long time, but I plan on going this summer. Acuna hit 22 with 59 power. Okay. Baldwin 20. Colson Montgomery hit 20. RBI leader was Brooks. Shout out to Brooks Baldwin, man. He had a incredible run. That's not bad. Acuna on 87 and then a real drop-off. 27 stolen bases for Majdroth and Acuna. Batting average king wouldn't have really been Peguero. It was Kyle Teal. On base percentage leader, also Kyle Teal. And our OPS king was Kyle Teal. Only he and Baldwin were over a .8. Most walks, Murakami with 70, but he was also third in strikeouts, only behind Jordan Beck and Brooks Baldwin. Fair enough. Shout out to Jordan Beck, who was absolutely dreadful. Acuna led our position players in WAR at a .46. Then you had Teal, Maydroff, Baldwin, and Montgomery. Tim Elko was horrific. At a minus 4.1 WAR, Beck was at a minus 2.9. Well, that Jordan Beck pickup, he has dropped from a B to a C potential. Oh, no. For pitchers, our winningest was Sean Burke with 10 wins. Most losses, Hagen Smith went 3-16 this year. Stone Cold approved. Hagen Smith. 18 saves for Yariel Rodriguez. 70 walks allowed by Smith. 153 strikeouts for Shane Smith. Hagen had a 6.7 ERA on the year. Nice. And then Kevin Van Ginkel was also dreadful. Oh, my God. 11 quality starts for Shane Smith. .4 WAR for Smith. He, Rodriguez, and Miea. Not too bad. I mean, no one was apparently completely dog shit, but Drew Thorpe, Hagen Smith, also pretty bad. Rodriguez, Taylor. I mean, really, it was the bullpen. It was the bullpen that was actually half decent, apparently. Go figure. Go figure. Pope isn't helping us. Not so far. Not so far. I mean, it might have to do with, me listening to some older Ghost that was very much not in their full-on arena rock phase yet. And, very, very Satan-heavy. A squared, I mean, I haven't seen too many issues yet, but I can't discredit your experience and what you've seen. The Arizona Diamondbacks have defeated the Toronto Blue Jays to win the 2027 World Series. As Arizona goes through the Dodgers, the Phillies, and then, of course, Toronto in the final, after the Blue Jays went through Minnesota, Seattle again, and the Yankees. Damn. So it was the Diamondbacks' year. Ketel Marte, Freddie Peralta, who they signed to that big deal, Corbin Carroll, Gabe Moreno, Corbin Burns. It's a good roster. I can see why they won it. That rotation's nasty. Bullpen is pretty good. I mean, Justin Martinez leading the way. And Spencer Horwitz might be the worst starter they had in that lineup. Looks like they didn't even play Nolan Arenado. So, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. So Horwitz does actually win World Series MVP. 2 home runs, 6 RBI. ALCS MVP was Addison Barger. And the NLCS MVP was Jorge Barrosa. NL MVP, Shohei Ohtani. 47 home runs, 122 RBI. Freddie Peralta and Ketel Marte were insane for Arizona, though. AL MVP, Nick Kurtz, 49 home runs. God damn. Judge had 51. Was lower in average in RBIs. And then Pete Alonso. Succeeding in orange, imagine that. AL Cy Young, Tariq Skubal wins again. Technically, in our first sim, he won in 2026, but I guess Carlos Rodon won it the second time, the second sim. And then NL Cy Young, Freddie Peralta over Paul Skeens and Jesus Luzardo. And Skeens probably deserved it, but obviously Peralta just on a better team. NL batting title goes to Xavier Edwards. That 334 average, goddamn. AL batting title to Nick Kurtz. AL reliever of the year, Andreas Munoz in Seattle. Yeah, deserving. Compared to Chapman and Iglesias, deserving. NL reliever of the year, Josh Hader. Won it primarily off of ERA. I don't know, man. I think Duran got he got robbed a little bit. I know Hader didn't allow that much for runs, though. AL Rookie of the Year, Mr. Second Overall 2026, Pedro Olivares. They did end up calling him up. He is a fucking 83 already. Like the very first draft I did, man, I got fleeced by my scouts, and now I gotta look at that for the rest of this playthrough. Oh my god. And Nelson Rada replaced Mike Trout. Yeah, NL Rookie of the Year, Hugo Page for Pittsburgh over Dino Garcia and Dante Nori. The Hank Aaron Award winners, Mike Trout for the Mets and Aaron Judge. Did we have any Gold Glovers this year? Anybody even in the conversation? No. Brooks Baldwin was up for Silver Slugger at DH. Kyle Teal was up at catcher. Not a good year. Not a good year in quite a few ways. I love the show's franchise for just how badly you can biff it. Honestly, me too. I mean, I know why people would be annoyed, but I'll take this draft over NHL's where you just know this guy is going to be amazing. You know? I will definitely take this experience. Paul Goldschmidt's retired. He makes the Hall of Fame with Justin Verlander. There you go. Okay. Well, exclusive free agent negotiations. It's Andrew Benintendi, who we are going to let go of. I'm definitely not paying him $7.8 million a year. Moore, Espinal, Hicks, Ginkel, Kike, and Vasquez can all go. That is not a big deal at all. Staff-wise, we're holding on. Not going to spend that money to get rid of these others. Tankathon for one more year. So, plus you can't trade up or down, so you really got to nail it. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like in real life, they're now allowing the compensate, like the competitive balance round trades, but yeah. All right. So, free agency. First things first. Save. As we have learned. But we'll at least get this team set up for Season 3. And then, I don't know if we'll do that tonight or if we'll switch to some Road to the Show. All right. So, at catcher, obviously we got Teal, we got Caro, Romo, Turner, and Appel are all Rule 5 eligible. If they go, they go. Murakami and Elko are already on the 40-man. Anybody else, if they get claimed, they get claimed. Honestly, most could probably just get cut. They are not good. Yeah, Mattarella, you're gone. I just don't want the AI re-signing these guys. Second base. Antonacci, Berry are both eligible. Gonzalez, Ferreras, Made, Tavares. Honestly, if any of these dudes get claimed, I'm okay with it. Like, I mean, even Antonacci and Berry, like, we just don't have space for them, right? If we have Majoroff, if we have Campbell, Felton is just about... Felton's about ready, honestly. So, yeah, if any of those guys get claimed, so be it. They have no shot at making this team. Third base-wise, Harris, Bastidas, and Bashirs, excuse me. We don't want to lose Harris for nothing yet. Anybody else is fine. Yeah. Plus, it is very easy to trade up in most games, yeah. Shortstop, Montgomery. Looking a bit shaky. Anybody need to be on that 40-man? Barrow. Colin Hawk, who can get traded for Mike Trout, apparently. Honestly, again, if any of these guys get claimed, just let it be. Let it be, let it be. Left field, Beck. Jordan Sprinkle, if you get claimed, it's fine. We'll drop. I mean, we literally just drafted Mike Pettit. I guess we'll keep him for the moment for that reason. Zavala and Henley. If you get claimed, you get claimed. Right field, Braden Montgomery. Time to be added to the 40-man. Everson Pereira. If you get claimed, you get claimed because that right field spot's Montgomery's. Same for Nishida. All right. Honestly, Nishida at this point, D potential, he can probably just be dropped. And then we'll keep Park just because he's younger and we just drafted him. So starters. Who is eligible here? Kai Bush. If you get claimed, you get claimed. I don't think we got to worry about anybody that's down there. Tommy Vale can go, though. Lucas Gordon. Jack Benedict. And Jorge Marcheco. All right. Looks like we're okay from there. Fair enough. In terms of the closers, Iriarte, if we lose you, we lose you. And then Gonzalez at 25. We'll keep Gonzalez at 25. But if Alberto or Chris Murphy get claimed, whatever. And speaking of which, for those relievers, let's get... we'll keep Silva because he's young. We'll keep Thomas because he's young. Oh, cool. All those D potential guys are people that we've completely missed on in the draft. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. God damn it. Been working on the Family Guy. Peter's joke about Kobe Bryant came up. That's impeccable timing. That is impeccable timing. I'll give you that. All right, so arbitration. Arbitration. Shane Smith. What do we got for Shane Smith here? I mean, we're definitely keeping Shane Smith. It's 10.5 for 1 year or 16.5 for 3. Let's go, probably 16.5 for 3. And then, 10.5 for the 1 year deal. For arbitration, we'll go with a nice fair 10.5 million, buddy. Kyle Teal, you are definitely staying. 3.1. 3.1 is the offer there. It's in the episode where Peter's dad forces Stewie to get baptized and Stewie gets sick. I do know exactly what episode you're talking about. Luis Angel Acuna was honestly really good last year. We'll go 4.7. I don't exactly know if he'll be worth this total, but it's fine. 4.7 will be that arbitration offer. We gotta start spending a little bit of money. Chase Majoroth. 3.5. He does have some competition at second base. But at least get him signed and then try to flip him. And if we get stuck with him, it's not that bad. Sean Burke, who is now 28. 4.8 for the year. We'll hold on to him. Arbitration, we'll go 4.8. Mike Vasil, now 28 as well. Massachusetts connection, 2 million flat. We can do that. 2 million flat for the Vasil. Brooks Baldwin has also been very good for us. Is he worth 4.8, though, given he's going to be a second-choice center fielder? Shit. He was really good for us last year. I mean, Beck, Acuna, Baldwin, Montgomery is the ideal setup. I think maybe we'll pay Baldwin. I'm just worried about him taking time from others, but 4.8, huh? 4.8. We can do that. Juan Mieo, we don't want to lose. He was actually pretty good for us. 1.6 is his magic number. Jordan Leisure. 1.4. This guy probably isn't worth this price, but you know what? We'll just go for it. Because, I mean, we have been pretty financially conservative so far. Collecting old DVD volume sets. Fun reliving these episodes. Mostly tired of the streaming BS. That is fair, especially with how freaking pricey everything is. All right, contract tenders. So Colson, Montgomery. We know we can just renew your deal. There's not really anybody that I'm worried about the AI not keeping, right? Like, if they let go of certain people, they let go of certain people. But we'll test that out again. So the trade hub is where we want to start here to figure out what we need this year in free agency. So at catcher, we still have Kyle Teal. Edgar Caro is probably our best bargaining piece. Backup if Caro is traded. Otherwise, he will be the backup this year. But that is definitely him on the block. Anybody else could go in a deal, but we're fine. First base. Murakami and Elko. Neither are necessarily on the block, but if they go, they go. Second base. Probably Chase Majoroth, right? Like, if we're gonna stick with Doug, Chase really isn't a bad player. But one of them has to go, and then honestly, Christian Campbell could probably go as well. I don't know. Majoroth is a fine filler player for now, but I do think we want to aim higher with Doug. So Majoroth, Campbell, Perez, Barry, Antonacci, all of those guys can end up on the block. Which means, really, we don't need a backup for Doug Felton. Because there's so many guys, there's no way all these dudes are going to get traded. So we don't need anything at first base either. We don't need anything at catcher. Third base is Dustin Harris. So we do need a starter there, ideally. Because we just don't have it. I really don't think I want Dustin Harris to be the guy. Keith Simons is there. He's definitely not going to the block, though. So yeah, with Harris, we'll just wait and see. Trying to think if there's a better move there, but I think just see what we got. Like, Sui Spell would probably be good enough to be the backup anyway. Shortstops. Let's be honest, Carlson and Peguero are both good enough. Carlson's pretty much never going to get the chance to play because of Montgomery, so he and Peguero can both be there. Left field, Beck is safe. So Sprinkle can end up on the block. In center, we have Acuna, so Baldwin can end up on the block. And in right, we have Montgomery, so Pereira could be dealt. And for starters, 2, 3, 4... So we got Thorpe, Paez. Really, any of those combination of dudes could go, because Norman K is almost ready. And then relievers. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, like, Gilbert could go. Yeah, Gonzalez is pretty close. Like Jordan Leisure at 29 could go. Rodriguez at 31, honestly, like we did a pretty good job kind of developing him up a little bit. Might as well see what we can get for him. That's a pretty big trade block list. We got to edit this untouchable list now, too. Or do we? Let's just leave it as is. So catcher Kyle Teel is definitely on that list. Nobody else. First base, no. Second base, Felton will stay on the untouchables list. Third base, Simons will be untouchable for now. Colson. Jordan Beck isn't untouchable because of that potential drop. Like, if we find a different deal for him, cool. I won't say no. Same with Acuna. Like, if we can find a different deal for him, awesome, but he's not untouchable. Montgomery and Beavers, though, I'm going to say we hold on to. Yeah, with someone like Acuna, if we get the right offer, we should at least think about it. Smith, Burke, other Smith, Schultz, none of you guys are going anywhere. And relievers, Vizcaino is not leaving. Grant Taylor's not going anywhere. Okay. So pretty much then, right? The outfield was kind of set for now. Starters are set. Relievers aren't that bad. I mean, it's mainly a third baseman still. So are there any third basemen out there? There's Jordan Westberg, but he's 29. I don't know if he quite fits the window, but maybe we'll inquire. The Red Sox have Marcelo Meyer and Jim Rogers back on the trade block again. Still intrigued in both of them. Especially Meyer more than Durbin. Chapman and Schumann, Caminero, I think again we're good. Okamoto, Oh, what do you mean you don't want to trade Vesperis so I can make up for my mistake? God damn it. Cal Garcia, again, is 28. I guess he could be on the block for the moment. Royce Lewis is 28. How old was Westberg at this point? 29. Honestly, let's stick with Meyer. Let's stick with Rogers as targets. Still just try to find some players that need to develop, some players with contract control. We can't get Keaton McKee. That really sucks. Josh Young is 30. Andreas Santana is terrible, but honestly, at least we can get somebody in the system. Marlins with nobody. Mets still have Vientos and Beatty. They're trying to trade Bo Bichette, but Phillies are trying to trade this really promising prospect again in Wirokvia. Will very Polish. And Robert Spalding. All right, Santana's out of there. Philly, please trade me one of these dudes. Matt Shaw is now untradeable. Cincy doesn't have anybody I'm interested in. The Brewers. Pirates have Adrian Blanco, but they're not moving him. Cardinals trying to move Nolan Gorman. We'll stay with who we have. And Lee Hu is maybe the only guy. Rogers was how old? We'll leave Rogers there. At least we got a couple of targets. And right now that means we are prioritizing third baseman. Okay, so the question is then free agency. Can we find the solution to our problems through free agency? I still don't think this will be the one where we spend any big money. Let's see who's out there. So for starting pitchers, Joe Ryan is a 96. Logan Gilbert, Brandon Woodruff, Mackenzie Gore, who has a qualifying offer on him. Nick Lodolo. Yeah, just based on ages and qualifying offers, there is just nobody we're going for. No shot. No shot. Relievers, Griffin Jacks, Brad Keller, Garrett Clevenger, the top three. Again, just nobody we're going for. Maybe Camilo Duvall, but... And then closers, Yohan Duran's out there. It's an absolute beast at 30. Catchers, William Contreras, Adley Rutschman did hit free agency. Carson Kelly. Again, it's nobody that we need. First base, Ryan O'Hearn, Jorge Polanco, Gavin Sheets. Nobody that we need. Oh, Bryson Stott, Ozzie Albies, Edmundo Sosa at second base. Nobody that we need. Third base, Isaac Paredes. Is that the guy for us at third base we want to spend that money on? He fits the window that we're looking for, but, well, kind of. I think I'm going to want to see if some of those trades go through. Yeah, I mean, we can at least build up interest, but, yeah, Paredes is kind of the only guy. Right field, Seiya Suzuki, Joe Adell. At 28, that's intriguing at least. Yeah, Mickey Moniak hitting an 80, let's go. Center field, Harrison Bader, Brandon Marsh. Left field, Stephen Kwan, Taylor Ward, Ramon Laureano. And shortstop, Taylor Walls, J.P. Crawford. Yeah, nothing crazy. All right, pretty much our only target's going to be Isaac Paredes. That is really it. Is just as a bit of a safety net. Definitely be hoping for a trade offer or two. All right, so Paredes does have some interest, but not a ton. Braves pick up Cole Ragans and Michael Wacha for Dave Buteau, a very promising young shortstop. Anthony Gimps, a promising second baseman, and Douglas Glaude, who isn't that good. High-end starter for a really good prospect. No issue with that. William Contreras, the number 3 free agent, signs a 5-year, $19 million per deal with the Cubs. Damn. We're just going to keep going. Rule 5, of course. Duran heads to the Yankees. 5-year deal, almost $15 million per for the number 5 target. And it's now or never for Paredes. We're going to say never. He's heading north to Toronto, 5 years, $20 million per. We weren't going to compete with that. Nick Lodolo gets 5 years, $32 million from Minnesota. Damn. And that means free agency doesn't have much for us. Logan Gilbert, the number 2, gets 5 years, $39 million from Atlanta. Jesus. Brandon Woodruff, the number 4 target, gets 1 year, $36.5 million from Tampa. So Tampa's not afraid to spend money in this timeline. Mackenzie Gore, the number 7, is heading to Miami. 5 years, $38 million per. Joe Ryan, the number 1, 9 years, just under $42 million per from Seattle. Jesus. Griffin Jacks, the number 6 target, heads to Baltimore. 3 years, $13 million per. That's pretty good. I mean, reliever or not, that's a damn good deal. And Zach Wheeler, the number 10. 2 years, $33 million basically from the Mets. I have a very old team. Brad Keller, the number 9, gets a 1-year deal, just under $12 million from the Yankees. The draft lottery is here. We are one of 3 teams alongside the Rockies and Giants with a 16.5% chance at the number 1 odds. We won the lottery last year on a 10% chance. What'll happen this year with that extra 6.5%? I gotta be honest, I think I'm actively rooting against me getting the first overall pick. That's the first time that's ever happened. It's too much pressure. I'm not up to the task. Thank God. With a 3.9% chance, the Washington Nationals have won the lottery, but we only fall back to second. So we have the second overall pick this year. Not that bad, but the Nationals get it. Less pressure on my shoulders. I'm really not complaining. As we make it all the way to the Rule 5 draft, where we do have the first pick. And really the only way we're going to take somebody is if they're just undeniable. So like a catcher, Daniel Sakach and everything, like, he's fine, but we have Edgar Caro. And we're definitely not taking anybody there. First base, Michael Toglia. Ooh. And it looks like, did we drop our other... Oh, we just haven't signed him yet. It could be a nice backup. Toglia is not bad. I mean, he is 29. Got some power. Even Blake Burke isn't that bad. I don't know if we're technically going to have that backup at first base. Toglia might be the guy. Second base. We are more than covered at second base, so it's a no to Kevin Biggio and Isaac Pacheco. Third base, we do need some cover, but Curtis Mead, who we had before, is interchangeable with Swiespill, so well, James Groover is there again. Carson Rucker, 23 seeing a 67. That's not bad. With Swiespill, he's on about the same pace. Shortstops, nothing. Not that we need anybody anyway, but nothing. Left field, Andrew Pinckney. Don't need him. Center field. Drew Jones is there again. I know chat definitely had interest in us getting Drew Jones previously. In right field, RJ Schreck. Okay. What about starters? Not that we really need one, but Anthony Kay, we had before. Nick Nastrini. There's really nobody that we need. Again, unless there's just somebody who's undeniable, but... Sean Lennon. Relievers. Again, I think we're probably okay. So yeah, it's like we could take Drew Jones just for the hell of it, but it'll just give us contract issues elsewhere. So outside of Michael Toglia, because we don't know what's going to happen with that other first baseman. Or Blake Burke. Yeah, we'll take Toglia for the power. Burke, Evans. Yeah, it's a good thing, right? Rockies would have made that choice otherwise. Mark King Jr. is gone. All right, that's it for the Rule 5. Not bad. Actually, really quickly. So, White Sox. Did we outright release anybody? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe I still don't trust the AI because we dropped Tim Elko, which we really didn't need to do. We also dropped quite a few of the other guys. A lot of that extra depth. So the AI is smart in that they're not going to drop anybody really good, but those middling players that are like, they're fine but not amazing, you can't guarantee their safety if you trust the AI on that. And would like to save time in terms of, the renewable contracts and everything like that. So I'd probably say up to like a 75 overall, which again is a shame because that means you're just doing the majority of the renewable contracts. But yeah, up until about a 75 is where they're probably going to be safe. Because Tim Elko was like a 72 or a 73. All right, so we do hit spring training. So Teal and Caro still the guys, or going to be the guys at catcher. So we need a AA level catcher. Do we have anybody who's not garbage? Not really, so fuck it. Tim Studer or Deacon Rubio, it doesn't really matter. Just Tim Stuber. Be able to keep it cheap. First base is Murakami and Toglia. So we just need some other first baseman. Looks like our boy was signed too. Luke Rayleigh's there. Nathan Mortarella. Carson Taylor. Tony Woodson. Yeah, we'll go Bryant Walters. Never know, some of these guys go up to like a C potential or something that could be half decent. Yeah, at least we got Toglia, given that it cut my other first baseman, which is kind of annoying. But so first base this year, we're going to go probably Majdroth and Campbell. Maybe not. I mean, Felton's kind of the guy. We can't guarantee he's going to play full time, but yeah, it's going to be Doug Felton making this roster. And definitely quite a bit of depth at second base for the moment. Third base, we need somebody. Starter, backup, doesn't matter. Yohan Moncada's there. Nick Madrigal. Moncada for the contact. Probably just take Madrigal for the defense. And we can overspend on him for the year. Here's the answer. Nick Madrigal. It's he and Harris. We actually need one more third baseman, or we can just count Gonzalez as a third baseman, so we'll put him in double. You're going to triple, you're going to triple, and Simons will head to double. You could argue that overall is just too damn low. I wouldn't necessarily disagree. We'll leave him. It's fine. Shortstops. Carlson's top priority over Peguero, so Billy, welcome up. The over's down to triple. Double, double, single. Works for me. Outfield. Jordan Sprinkle needs to be in the conversation. Acuna and Baldwin are in that conversation. Pereira also needs to be in that conversation. Montgomery definitely needs to make it. I think it's pretty straightforward, actually, though. Sprinkle is down. Pereira's down. Let's see. So double A is 1, 2. All right, we need like 2 center fielders for double A. 2 double-A center fielders. Hugo Page, D potential. We'll still take you, though. Why not? Moratibo's a D. Torres is a D. Any of these guys not a D? Dino Hernandez. Dino Spumoni. Gotta bring you in. So that'll be Page on to the 40, man. Fair enough. You're going to triple. So Brian Park will go to double. And Dino Spumoni down to double. Cool. Pitchers. What do we got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. All right, we need about 4 starters. 4 starters to balance this out. We're not really worried about Kramer, Sonny Gray, Tanner Hawk. We're fine. 4 younger starters who might be able to make something of themselves. Can we find that? Antoine Kelly, sure. That's 1. Honus McKnight, number 2. Shout out to Honus. Definitely not the onus. He's the Honus. Lights is a banger. It is. You know what? Just because you said that, we're going back because it is a banger. Let's bring in Chase Coleman. And Aaron Berger. Hey, that app. Wow, dude. This was the guy that was taken 3rd overall. A year later, Washington didn't even re-sign him. Holy shit. That is ruthless. And then 1, 2, 3. Kelly goes down to AA. Get off of the 40, man. You're out of your mind if you think you're going to be on the 40, man. And then straight down.
I'm just trying to walk through this.
We do need a closer. Scooby, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. Emilio Pagan or Brock Stewart? You might as well just bring in Emilio Pagan for the year. We can afford to overspend on him. Pagan is the closer this year. That's fine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So Gilbert goes down. That's 2. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And AA is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Murphy doesn't make it. Or does Murphy make it? Where am I short on AA players? Did I miss a starter? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, because Kelly. All right, because the waivers, that makes sense. Okay. I mean, obviously the trade hub was still looking to move the same players. Untouchables are still the same. Try to keep that target list the same for now. Yeah, third base is that is the big one. Although actually, for the trade block, has anything changed based on like player development? Not really. Yeah, Hugo Page maybe, but we just signed him. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good there. Staff contracts, scouts. Again, like our scouts aren't bad. That one guy's not the best at looking at pitchers, but I just got to get better at reading the information, I guess. Well, the last thing that I want to check here then is top prospects heading into the year and see where we stand in that regard. So Philip Matsumoto, who is in this draft, is the number 1 prospect in baseball for the Dodgers. Jeff Burns, the 2nd overall pick, debuts at 6. Ben Baez, who we tried to get from Baltimore, is up there. We do have Vizcaino at number 16. Peter Tachiki was in that last draft. Earl Dugan debuts at 34. Vesperis at 36. Doug Felton's up to 43. Actually, further down, right? He was 36, I think, last year. Do we have anybody else in the mix? We are hurting for some top prospects here. Braden Montgomery is at 81. Garrett Beavers debuts at 93. We have dropped from the 7th ranked farm system to the 12th. And make of that what you will. But when we start this season, unless a trade goes down first, when we start this season, this is what we have. Rotation. Shane Smith, Noah Schultz, Sean Burke, Hagen Smith, and Yeriksen Paez. Drew Thorpe is the long reliever. With Juan Miella, Mike Vasil, Emilio Pagan, Yariel Rodriguez, Jordan Leisure, and Grant Taylor. Well, not great, not awful. We're still definitely banking on a lot of starters to develop. And then lineup-wise, Chase Majeroth, Kyle Teal, Brooks Baldwin, Colson Montgomery, Luis Angel Acuna, Munetaka Murakami, Jordan Beck, Michael Toglia, and Wright, and Dustin Harris. So Montgomery, Caro, Felton, Madrigal, and Carlson. This game just crashed, didn't it? Yep. 3 crashes, 2 of them tonight already for franchise mode, huh? Methinks we have some stability issues right now.